You didn't expose them. You just stayed silent long enough for their masks to melt under their own heat. My dear chosen ones, what they feared most wasn't your voice. It was your silence. You never needed to scream to be heard. You never begged to be seen. And yet, here you are, living in their minds, rent-free, while barely acknowledging their presence. That's not just power. That's psychological warfare at its finest. They thought you were playing checkers while you were calculating your next move on a board they didn't even know existed. They smiled to your face while poisoning your name behind your back. But what they didn't see coming was this. Your silence was a vault. And inside that vault, every lie they told, every manipulation, every little secret they thought was buried too deep to ever be found. And now? Oh, now they're talking, loud, desperate, confused. How did they know that? When did they figure it out? Who told them? But the real question echoing in every room they walk into is, what else do they know? They called it luck. They blamed coincidence. But you, chosen one, you were always tuned in. You've been reading between their lines since day one. You caught the coded language in their tone, the shake in their hand, the twitch in their eye when they lied. You knew. And now they know you knew. It burns them, not because you exposed them, but because you didn't have to. You didn't fight. You didn't chase. You didn't stoop. You just stayed still long enough for the truth to catch up to them like a shadow in the spotlight. So when you ask yourself, why are they watching me so closely? Why do they keep bringing me up when I've moved on? Remember this. You were never just another face in their game. You were the hidden variable, the wild card, the unpredictable force that shattered the illusion. You held the knowledge close, not to withhold, but because you knew some truths hit harder in silence, and that, chosen ones, is why they can't stop talking. You knew more than you let on, and that terrifies them. Now let's go deeper. And before we dive deeper, listen closely, chosen ones, because this next part, it's not for the crowd, it's for the few. If you've ever felt eyes on you for no reason, if you've ever watched people panic over things you never said out loud, if your silence has become the loudest voice in the room, then yes, this is your sign. You've been carrying a quiet power they still can't decode. And now, they're obsessed with your every move because deep down, they know you know more than you've ever shown. If you're ready to own that gift, drop the number 88 in the comments right now to affirm your awareness. Smash the like, hit subscribe, and show love through a super thanks if this message mirrors what you've been living. Let's move forward, step by step, and believe me, if you truly are one of the chosen ones, what's coming next will feel like a mirror held up to your entire life. Ordinary minds can't grasp this, but you've already felt it. Let's get started. Number 1. They played checkers while you mastered the map of universes. You stayed silent while they screamed themselves into exposure. The smartest move you ever made was not saying a word while they revealed every shade of their own deception. My dear chosen ones, let's get this straight right now. While they were running their mouths, you were running simulations in your mind. While they were plotting under the illusion of secrecy, you were observing patterns so precise they couldn't even recognize the trap they were walking into. And now they can't stop talking about how much you know, because the truth is, you knew too much without ever saying a word. They thought you were naive. They mistook your silence for confusion, your calm for weakness, your restraint for ignorance. What a miscalculation. They never once considered that you were letting them talk, just long enough to dig their own graves with their words. And now, as the dust begins to settle, the panic in their eyes says it all. How did you know? When did you find out? Who warned you? But the truth is more uncomfortable than any answer they expected. You didn't hear it from anyone. You sensed it. You felt it. You read the room before the room even knew it had something to hide. Chosen ones, what you carry is not just insight. It's awareness sharpened by experience. It's the kind of clarity that sees through intention even when words try to mask it. You don't need receipts to know the playbook. You wrote a better one the moment you decided to stop reacting and start observing. And now they're scrambling, not because you said anything, not because you exposed them, but because you didn't. Because your silence is more threatening than any speech they've ever heard. That stillness of yours, it's louder than their gossip. That distant look in your eyes, it makes them question everything they ever thought they could hide. You didn't need revenge. You became the reminder. You became the evidence. And without uttering a single accusation, you made them expose themselves. That's not just power, that's precision. They're afraid of what else you know. They're terrified of the next move you haven't even made yet. They replay every interaction with you in their minds like a movie, watching for signs they missed, wondering when you caught them slipping. And you, chosen one, you're not watching for apologies. You're watching for alignment. You're not out here to prove anything to people who failed to understand you the first time. You're just focused on staying one step ahead, as you always have been. And now, as their whispers grow louder, it's not because you've changed, it's because you haven't. You've just finally let your silence speak for itself. So let them talk. Let them panic. Let them speculate. Every word they say only proves how unprepared they were to face someone who could see without being seen, know without being told, and move without ever needing their permission. You stayed silent, and now their noise is the evidence of their guilt. Let's keep going. It gets deeper. Number 2, you smiled in silence while they drowned in their own lies. They thought your silence was weakness, but it was actually the mirror that showed them who they really are. My dear chosen ones, never forget, the most powerful blow you ever delivered was the smile you wore while they buried themselves in deception. You didn't need to raise your voice. You didn't need to prove them wrong. You just kept calm, kept moving, and let them talk themselves into exposure. That's the kind of elegance most people will never understand, and it's the exact reason they can't stop whispering your name in rooms they think you'll never enter. You knew what they were doing. You heard the contradictions. You felt the shifts in their tone, the inconsistencies in their behavior, the way they twisted the truth like a snake twisting through tall grass. But instead of confronting them, you leaned back. You chose peace over reaction, strategy over impulse, and that smile, that silent smile, it made them unravel, because in that moment, you weren't playing their game. You were ending it without even touching the board. They wanted to manipulate you. They wanted to confuse you, isolate you, bait you into chaos. But you didn't flinch. You stayed composed. You watched them build entire stories around their lies, stacking fabrication on top of fabrication until even they couldn't remember what was real. And through it all, you smiled. That smile haunts them now. Because deep down, they know you knew. You knew from the beginning, and you let them keep going. Not because you were powerless, but because you were patient. Not because you didn't see it, but because you wanted to see how far they'd go when they thought you were blind. That's the kind of knowing that terrifies people, the quiet kind. The kind that never says, "I told you so," because it never needed to. The kind that lets time do the talking. And now, the same people who laughed behind your back are choking on their own narratives. Now, they avoid eye contact. They avoid your presence. Because every time you walk into the room, it reminds them of how loudly they lied and how calmly you watched. They called you too quiet, too soft, too detached. They thought you didn't catch on, but you weren't distant, chosen one. You were deliberate. You weren't lost in the noise, you were listening for the truth. And when you found it, you didn't announce it. You simply adjusted your energy, protected your space, and walked away with grace. They are the ones unraveling now, not you. Their lies are echoing louder than ever, and your silence is the amplifier. Your restraint is now the reason they look over their shoulder. You didn't fight to expose them. You just outlasted the storm they tried to throw at you. So let them wonder. Let them talk. Let them replay every moment, trying to figure out what you saw, what you knew, and when you figured it all out. Because that smile of yours, it wasn't just a smile. It was the quiet confirmation that their lies were never hidden. Not from you. Let's keep going. It only gets more powerful from here. Number 3. Your quiet was never a pause. It was a loaded weapon. You weren't silent because you had nothing to say. You were silent because you were the storm waiting for the right sky. My dear chosen ones, let's make this very clear. Your silence was never weakness. It was never absence. It was never you stepping back. It was you charging up. It was you sharpening the blade. It was you watching every move like a hawk with eyes wide open while they mistook your stillness for surrender. They laughed when you said less, mocked your calm, rolled their eyes at your quiet exit from their messy conversations. But now, that same silence has become a mirror they can't look into. Because in your silence, they started to hear the echo of everything they hoped you'd never discover. Let them keep guessing. Let them ask themselves why you never exploded, why you never responded with rage, why you never played their little emotional games. Because while they were flailing for attention, for control, for validation, you were preparing. You were building endurance. You were becoming untouchable. You didn't lower your frequency. You let them implode on theirs. Your quiet wasn't a break. It wasn't a retreat. It was the most disciplined move you could have made, because you weren't trying to win their game. You were rewriting the rules. And now that they're caught in the trap of their own assumptions, they're looking at you with a different kind of fear, a respectful kind, the kind that knows your silence wasn't passive. It was precision. It was the pause before the impact. You see, chosen ones, only those with real power can afford silence. People who are hiding scream the loudest. But you've sat in rooms full of lies and smiled, knowing the truth without needing to prove it. You've let people believe they had the upper hand, all while tracking their every move like a chess master 6 turns ahead. They never saw the weapon in your silence until it cut them. That's why they talk now. That's why your name stays on their lips. Because you didn't react, you recalibrated. And when the moment came, they were too late to defend themselves from what you'd already prepared. So if you ever question yourself, chosen one, don't. Your restraint is not weakness, it's wisdom. Your quiet is not emptiness, it's strategy. And your presence? It speaks louder in silence than their noise ever could. They can't decode you because you don't speak their language anymore. You've evolved past it. That's what they fear. Not what you said, but what you didn't have to. You were never quiet. You were locked in. Let's move forward. It only gets louder from here. Number 4. Your inner compass doesn't guess. It calculates before the world moves. The difference between instinct and calculation. You don't just feel the shift. You predict it before it even begins. My dear chosen ones, the reason they're talking, watching, obsessing over your every move is because they can't figure out how you keep getting it right. They call it luck, but deep down, even they know luck doesn't hit this often, this precisely, this surgically. What they're witnessing isn't randomness, it's alignment. And what they can't stand is that your inner compass doesn't twitch. It locks in before the storm even brews. They plan months in advance, only to watch your spontaneous steps unfold with results their spreadsheets can't replicate. They strategize behind closed doors, only to find you've already built the blueprint in silence. You don't second-guess. You sense. You don't chase trends. You feel where the current is going before the current even realizes it's moving. You walk into a room, and without saying a word, you already know what's off. Who's lying? Who's posturing? Who's looking for something they'll never admit out loud? And when you walk out, they're left asking themselves, how did they know? How do they always get it right? What are they really tapped into? Chosen ones, what they can't understand is that you're tuned to a frequency beyond explanation. While they rely on confirmation, you move on calibration. And while they need proof before belief, you already believe before proof ever arrives. That's why it's not a surprise when you pivot before things collapse. That's why people swear you just got lucky when the opportunity you quietly invested in explodes while they're still researching reviews. Let them talk. Let them dissect your movements like you're some kind of unsolvable puzzle, because you are. You're not wired like the rest. You didn't come here to play the predictable path. You came here to shift the rhythm, to shake the pattern, and that's exactly what you do with every silent, intentional step. What shakes them isn't just that you know what's coming, it's that you don't even flinch when it arrives. While the world panics, you adjust. While others scatter, you center. You're not here to follow maps. They weren't drawn for you. You carry the map within. It's written in the way you navigate energy, in the way you read between moments, in the way you respond with such pinpoint clarity that it's no longer intuition, it's foresight. And yes, they talk. They whisper in rooms you've never entered, trying to explain how you always seem to stay 10 steps ahead. But they'll never admit the truth, that your gift terrifies them. Not because they understand it, but because they know it works. You're not guessing, chosen one. You're calculating. Quietly, accurately, relentlessly. And the world is just now starting to notice. Let's keep going. It only gets more undeniable from here. Number 5. You didn't vanish. You rose beyond what their eyes could reach. They didn't lose access to you. They just lost the altitude to see where you've gone. My dear chosen ones, they think you disappeared, that you went quiet, that you pulled back because something went wrong. But here's the truth, they can't even begin to comprehend. You didn't disappear. You elevated. You rose so far beyond their frequency that even if they screamed your name, the echo wouldn't reach you anymore. And now? Now they're whispering. Not because you said anything, but because your absence became louder than your presence ever was. You moved in silence, and suddenly their entire world felt your withdrawal. Because you weren't just someone in the room. You were the pulse of the room, the stillness when you left. It wasn't emptiness. It was the weight of your absence, reminding them of everything they took for granted. They're saying you've changed, that you're distant, detached. But what really happened, chosen one, is that you stopped trying to be seen by those who refused to understand. You outgrew the spaces that tried to contain you. You rose beyond the reach of small talk, petty drama, and environments that fed off your energy but never nourished your soul. And now they can't stop talking, because they can't stop wondering. Where did they go? Why don't they respond anymore? Are they watching from a distance? Every question they ask reveals their confusion, their regret, their growing awareness that you knew more than you let on, and always have. You didn't need to announce your next level, you just embodied it, and that's what bothers them most. There was no explosion, no breakdown, no grand exit speech, just quiet power and a shift so undeniable that even those who pretended not to care now find themselves obsessively circling your silence for clues. Chosen ones, hear me. This is what happens when you evolve past the version of you that once fit into their limited perception. You stop bending, you stop dimming, you stop explaining, you simply become more. And the more you become, the less they recognize you. But the more they realize what they lost. It's not loneliness you're experiencing, it's altitude. And at this height, the air is clearer, the noise is gone, the clarity is sharp. And only those built for the climb can join you here. They say you disappeared, but they're wrong. You became untouchable, and that's why they can't stop watching, can't stop speculating, can't stop measuring their every move against a version of you they no longer have access to. You didn't vanish, chosen one. You just rose beyond what their eyes could reach. Let's keep climbing. What's next will make even more sense. Number 6. They spy in secret, hoping to steal what can't be replicated. They watch from behind curtains, take notes like students, still failing to realize you can't counterfeit essence. My dear chosen ones, let's talk about the quiet obsession that now surrounds your name. They pretend they don't see you. They pretend they've moved on. But behind closed doors, behind the polished smiles and forced small talk, they're dissecting you like you're a puzzle they can't solve. They spy in silence, not out of admiration, but out of desperation. They want your glow, but they don't want to walk through your fire. They want the result, not the refinement. They study your every move, hoping to steal fragments of your formula, hoping to download the blueprint to a frequency they were never tuned in to begin with. But here's the bitter truth they can't swallow. What you carry wasn't borrowed. It was built. You didn't find your presence in a tutorial. You forged it in solitude. While they were performing for the crowd, you were sitting in the quiet corners of life, wrestling with truths too raw for surface-level minds. And now that your power has become visible, magnetic, undeniable, they're desperate to capture it without ever confronting what created it. But chosen ones, power doesn't come from mimicry. Real power comes from authenticity. They can copy your words, your style, even your timing, but they will never replicate the depth behind it. Because what gives your presence weight is the pain you've endured, the clarity you've earned, and the self-mastery you've had to fight for in silence. They scroll through your pages, zoom into your photos, watch your stories on mute like thieves tiptoeing through your temple. But what they don't realize is this: even if they trace your every footprint, they still won't arrive at the same destination, because your path wasn't a performance, it was a transformation. They study your moves the way counterfeiters study currency, but you, chosen one, aren't paper. Your energy, your essence, you're the product of a journey they never dared to take. And no matter how many times they refresh your profile, what they're truly searching for isn't in your content, it's in your character. And that can't be downloaded, imitated, or taught. So let them watch, let them whisper, let them squint at your success, trying to reverse engineer the steps you took. Every attempt they make to become what you are only exposes how far they truly are from ever understanding it. Because when something is born from alignment, no amount of performance can reproduce its power. You are the original. They are rehearsals. You didn't need to be loud to leave an impact. You didn't need to explain to be understood. You became the evidence. And now they're all watching, searching for a reflection of themselves in a mirror that only shows them what they lack. Chosen ones, you are uncopyable. Write that in the comments if you know it's true. Let them try. You'll still be light years ahead. Let's keep going. It only gets sharper from here. Number 7, you aligned with something bigger. Now, reality rearranges around you. When the world couldn't shape you, it had no choice but to shift around you. My dear chosen ones, what they don't understand is this. When you aligned with something bigger, the game changed, not just for you, but for everything around you. This isn't luck. This isn't random. This is the moment when your inner frequency became so undeniable, reality itself had to adjust to match your elevation. They used to think you were just lucky, that things just happened to fall into place for you, that the timing was a fluke. But now, they're watching too closely to pretend anymore. Patterns are forming around you that defy coincidence. Opportunities line up like soldiers awaiting your command. Chaos seems to skip you while it swallows everyone else. And those who once laughed at your silence are now obsessing over your positioning. What they can't wrap their heads around is this. You didn't chase alignment, you became it. You chose clarity over confusion, discipline over distraction, depth over drama. You didn't just rise, you tuned in. You moved in sync with something so vast and intelligent that now even time and circumstance have started bending around your decisions. That's not noise, that's resonance. Every room you walk into carries your imprint before you speak. Every no you whisper shifts outcomes. Every yes you speak creates momentum. That's why people can't stop talking about you. Because deep down, they know something bigger is backing your every step, even if they can't name it. You've become too aligned to ignore. And chosen ones, let's be clear, they're not just watching your moves, they're studying your energy. They're trying to decode your silence. They want the blueprint but don't realize the code was written in a language only the awakened can read. This isn't about superiority, it's about sensitivity. You sense the unseen. You calculate what others miss. And now life itself reflects your precision. It's not you adapting to chaos anymore, it's chaos adapting to you. Circumstances move out of your way like a current meeting a rock. People pause when you speak because your voice carries unseen weight. Environments shift when you enter because your alignment has gravitational pull. Let them keep wondering, let them keep talking. Their whispers are just proof that they feel the shift but don't have the words for it. You are the shift. So next time you catch someone staring a little too long, when you hear your name in rooms you've never entered, when they try to mimic your calm or copy your pace, remember this. They're trying to rearrange their reality the way yours now moves effortlessly because they can feel that you aligned with something bigger. But what they don't realize? It wasn't magic. It was mastery. Let's keep going, chosen ones, because this alignment, it's only the beginning. And as we close this chapter, chosen ones, let's be real. What you've just heard isn't hype, it's your reflection. You're not imagining the shift. Reality is moving because of you. So stay aligned, stay sharp, and let the noise confirm the truth. You know more than you let on, and they know it. If this message hit home, like this video, subscribe for more and drop 77 in the comments if you're done explaining yourself to people who never deserved access. Share this with someone who needs the reminder, because chosen ones move in silence, but they shake everything.